Quiet the mind and the soul will speak. If your compassion does not include yourself, it is incomplete. If you find no one to support you on the spiritual path, walk alone. There is no companionship with the immature. Three things cannot be long hidden: the sun, the moon, and the truth. It is better to conquer yourself than to win 1,000 battles. Then the victory is yours. It cannot be taken from you. You only lose what you cling to. The root of suffering is attachment. No matter how hard the past, you can always begin again. To conquer oneself is a greater task than conquering others. There is no fear for one whose mind is not filled with desires. A disciplined mind brings happiness. Do not dwell in the past, do not dream of the future, concentrate the mind on the present moment. There are only two mistakes one can make along the road to truth: not going all the way, and not starting. Holding on to anger is like grasping a hot coal with the intent of throwing it at someone else. You are the one who gets burned. The mind is everything. What you think you become. There is no path to happiness. Happiness is the path. When you dig a well, there's no sign of water until you reach it, only rocks and dirt to move out of the way. You have removed enough, soon the pure water will flow. Nothing can harm you as much as your own thoughts unguarded. Every morning we are born again. What we do today is what matters most. Thousands of candles can be lit from a single candle, and the life of the candle will not be shortened. Happiness never decreases by being shared. Every human being is the author of his own health or disease. Once you know the nature of anger and joy is empty and you let them go, you free yourself from karma. One who previously made bad karma, but who reforms and creates good karma, brightens the world like the moon appearing from behind a cloud. Not even death can wipe out our good deeds. Karma grows from our hearts. Karma terminates from our hearts. How people treat you is their karma, how you react is yours. When action comes out of nothing, it creates no karma. One who acts on truth is happy in this world and beyond. All that we are is the result of what we have thought, what we think we become. What you are is what you have been. What you'll be is what you do now. If with a pure mind a person speaks or acts, happiness follows him like his never-departing shadow. Everything that has a beginning has an ending. Make your peace with that and all will be well. Those who are free of resentful thoughts surely find peace. Resolutely train yourself to attain peace. Better than 1,000 hollow words is one word that brings peace. Peace comes from within. Do not seek it without. A man is not called wise because he talks and talks again, but if he is peaceful, loving, and fearless, then he is in truth called wise. Do not overrate what you have received, nor envy others. He who envies others does not obtain peace of mind. Pain is certain, suffering is optional. The tongue, like a sharp knife, kills without drawing blood. Friendship is the only cure for hatred, the only guarantee of peace. Holding on to anger is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. Your body is precious. It is our vehicle for awakening. Treat it with care. Learn this from water. Loud splashes the brook, but the ocean's depth are calm. Give, even if you only have a little. One should strive to understand what underlies sufferings and diseases, and aim for health and well-being while gaining in the path. Work out your own salvation. Do not depend on others. In the sky, there is no distinction of east and west. People create distinctions out of their own minds and then believe them to be true. Purity and impurity depend on oneself. No one can purify another. You will not be punished for your anger. You will be punished by your anger. If the problem can be solved, why worry? If the problem cannot be solved, worrying will do you no good. It is better to travel well than to arrive. No one saves us but ourselves. No one can and no one may. We ourselves must walk the path. Just as a snake sheds its skin, we must shed our past over and over again. If you truly loved yourself, you could never hurt another. True love is born from understanding. There is nothing so disobedient as an undisciplined mind, and there is nothing so obedient as a disciplined mind. As rain falls equally on the just and the unjust, do not burden your heart with judgment, but rain your kindness equally on all. You, yourself, as much as anybody in the entire universe, deserve your love and affection. Love is a gift of one's innermost soul to another so both can be whole. The past is already gone, the future is not yet here. There's only one moment for you to live. Believe nothing, no matter where you read it, or who said it, no matter if I have said it, unless it agrees with your own reason and your own common sense. Even as a solid rock is unshaken by the wind, so are the wise unshaken by praise or blame. Remembering a wrong is like carrying a burden on the mind. Even death is not to be feared by one who has lived wisely. There isn't enough darkness in all the world to snuff out the light of one little candle. An idea that is developed and put into action is more important than an idea that exists only as an idea. To support mother and father, to cherish wife and children, and to be engaged in peaceful occupation, this is the greatest blessing. If with a pure mind a person speaks or acts, happiness follows them like a never-departing shadow. Whatever precious jewel there is in the heavenly worlds, there is nothing comparable to one who is awakened. Meditate, do not delay, lest you later regret it. Meditation brings wisdom, lack of meditation leaves ignorance. If you meditate earnestly, pure in mind and kind in deeds, leading a disciplined life in harmony with the Dharma, you will grow in glory. If you meditate earnestly, through spiritual disciplines you can make an island for yourself that no flood can overwhelm. Health is the best gift, contentment the best wealth, trust the best kinsman, nirvana the greatest joy. Drink the nectar of the Dharma in the depths of meditation, and become free from fear and sin. If anything is worth doing, do it with all your heart. Don't run after pleasure and neglect the practice of meditation. If you forget the goal of life and get caught in the pleasures of the world, you will come to envy those who put meditation first. Anger will never disappear so long as thoughts of resentment are cherished in the mind. Anger will disappear just as soon as thoughts of resentment are forgotten. If you are quiet enough, you will hear the flow of the universe. You will feel its rhythm. Go with this flow. Happiness lies ahead. Meditation is key. Set your heart on doing good. Do it over and over again and you will be filled with joy. Happiness will never come to those who fail to appreciate what they already have. You cannot travel the path until you have become the path itself. We are shaped by our thoughts. We become what we think. When the mind is pure, joy follows like a shadow that never leaves. Those who cling to perceptions and views wander the world offending people. If you light a lamp for somebody, it will also brighten your path. Those who have failed to work toward the truth have missed the purpose of living. In separateness lies the world's greatest misery. In compassion lies the world's true strength. To abstain from lying is essentially wholesome. Drop by drop is the water pot filled. Likewise, the wise man, gathering it little by little, fills himself with good. Avoid evil deeds as a man who loves life avoids poison. The only real failure in life is not to be true to the best one knows. Should you find a wise critic to point out your faults, follow him as you would a guide to hidden treasure. Radiate boundless love towards the entire world. There has to be evil so that good can prove its purity above it. What you think, you become. What you feel, you attract. And what you imagine, you create. Know well what leads you forward and what holds you back, and choose the path that leads to wisdom. Delight in heedfulness. Guard well your thoughts. All tremble at violence, all fear death. Putting oneself in the place of another, one should not kill nor cause another to kill. As an elephant in the battlefield withstands arrows shot from bows all around, even so shall I endure abuse. Understanding is the heartwood of well-spoken words. The whole secret of existence is to have no fear. Never fear what will become of you, depend on no one. Only the moment you reject all help are you freed. It is in the nature of things that joy arises in a person free from remorse. Let him not deceive another nor despise anyone anywhere. In anger or ill will let him not wish another ill. Your own self is your master, who else could be? With yourself well controlled, you gain a master very hard to find. Conquer anger through gentleness, unkindness through kindness, greed through generosity, and falsehood by truth. Like someone pointing to treasure is the wise person who sees your faults and points them out. Associate with such a sage. If we could see the miracle of a single flower clearly, our whole life would change. Be truthful, do not yield to anger. Give freely, even if you have but little. The gods will bless you. As a water bead on a lotus leaf, as water on a red lily, does not adhere, so the sage does not adhere to the seen, the heard, or the sensed. One is not called noble who harms living beings. By not harming living beings one is called noble. All wrongdoing arises because of mind. If mind is transformed, can wrongdoing remain? If you knew what I know about the power of giving, you would not let a single meal pass without sharing it in some way. I never see what has been done, I only see what remains to be done. As you walk and eat and travel, be where you are. Otherwise you will miss most of your life. The trouble is, you think you have time. One moment can change a day, one day can change a life, and one life can change the world. Hatred does not cease through hatred at any time. Hatred ceases through love. This is an unalterable law. Chaos is inherent in all compounded things. Strive on with diligence. It is a man's own mind, not his enemy or foe, that lures him to evil ways. They blame those who remain silent, they blame those who speak much, they blame those who speak in moderation. There is none in the world who is not blamed. Be a living Buddha of compassion, kindness, and love. Look inside with awakened intellect and wisdom. You will find Buddha inside you. No one can force us to transform our minds, not even Buddha. We must do so voluntarily. Therefore Buddha stated, "You are your own master." The color of the mountains is Buddha's body, the sound of running water is his great speech. To awaken suddenly to the fact that your own mind is the Buddha, that there is nothing to be attained or a single action to be performed. This is the supreme way. A Buddha is a Buddha, a Krishna is a Krishna, and you are you. If you use your mind to look for a Buddha, you won't see the Buddha. You have the Buddha in you. It is your capacity to wake up, to understand, to love. Buddha means awareness, the awareness of body and mind that prevents evil from arising in either.